Welcome to this overview of Axiom. Here we're logged in as an educator, and here we can see our dashboard. We have our first course that we've already created. Let's go ahead and create a new space. We'll provide a title, an introduction message for our students, and we'll hit create space. From here, the space gets created, but obviously we still have some work to do to make this custom to our specific course. We'll go into settings. From here, we can start to modify the look and feel and the functionality of the course or the space. Let's go ahead and upload a cover image. Under AI settings, we can modify the behavior of the AI agent or the AI tutor by providing custom instructions and prompts. We can even add conversation starters. Just add a couple here. Under the Access tab, we can change the visibility settings. By default, it's hidden, or we can publish it, making it available to discover in the Spaces directory. We can modify access, or how access is granted and controlled. By default, it's private, meaning that the owner of the space adds members manually. We can change it to a walled garden, meaning that members can join the space by using an access code. Or we could make it open, meaning that anybody who's logged in would be able to join the space. We'll leave the defaults for now and hit save and jump into modifying the knowledge base. So in each space, we have the ability to upload our files, including PDFs, Word documents, Excel files, PowerPoints, and so on. Every file that we upload gets processed and converted into chunks. These chunks are essentially the brain of the AI tutor, if you will, that allow it to respond in a sort of controllable manner, if you will, to student questions. So as you can see, as files get uploaded, they get processed, and as the files get processed, they're converted into chunks. If we click on the Knowledge Explorer, we'll be able to see the chunks that have been created for the midterm overview document. We can see all the different pieces of information that have been sort of pulled from that document. And depending on the size and structure of the document, it might take more than a few minutes to analyze and process. And the number of chunks is relevant to the size and scope and layout as well. So now that all of our documents are processed, let's take a look at the Knowledge Explorer again. Here we can see that 236 knowledge chunks have been extracted from the documents we've uploaded. If we enter a keyword here and search, we will get the most relevant chunks from all of the documents. And this is essentially what the AI agent or the AI tutor would reference and use to respond to students. So we can get a sense of what the the relevancy score and how which document it came from and so on by using the Knowledge Explorer. Great, so now we have the space set up. Let's go back into our dashboard and take a look at this course and start our first conversation with it. So from here, we have the conversation layout. We have our conversation starters, and let's just click on the first conversation starter here. The AI will reference the documents that we've uploaded, provide a response from the documents, ask the students if they want to continue exploring specific processes or elements of this. As a student, we can ask a follow-up question and so on, just like we would engage or interact with any other AI agent. Great, let's create a new thread here, and let's ask for help with the midterm. From here, it's asking us which one of these topics we'd like to explore. Let's go with the second one. So here it's providing us a question that's expecting us to attempt to answer. So we'll say number 1. What do you... And so we can provide an answer. It will review the answer we've provided and continue with our evaluation or learning journey here. Let's go back into this other thread. Obviously, you can go back to any thread and continue the discussion. Let's add another question here. And as the as the student engages with the AI agent, what we get is different sessions for each thread and different sort of processes or elements that occur inside of that thread. And this is all very useful stuff for the instructor at the end of the day, because as we will see in a moment, all of this information is tracked. So there's that example. Let's now go back into the space, and now we'll go into the threads settings here. And here we have a list of all the threads and all of the sessions in that thread. So as the instructor, I can view each thread. I can even engage in that thread with the student. I can read all of the messages that they have provided, or I can explore the thread itself. So here we can see that this thread has 10 messages across 2 sessions. If we click on explore, we'll get the summaries for each thread, meaning that we don't have to necessarily go through and read each message. We can just get a summary of the learning and the engagement that took place during those sessions in that thread. When we go back into our knowledge base, we'll also see how often various files are referenced and cited during from the AI's responses. And obviously all of these analytics will be pulled together into an analytics dashboard, which is still pending, but the general idea is that we'll be able to cite top keywords, top chunks, and get a better understanding of how the documents are used, where the curiosity exists, and what sort of questions students are asking. Lastly, let's go back into the Spaces directory here, which includes all of the various spaces that have been published in some sort of way. So here we can see this space is a walled garden. It requires an access code to enter, and so I would need to join the space, and so I would need to provide the correct access code to be able to access. Here we have an example of an open space, and here we have an example of a private space. So back into my dashboard, if this space was ready for publishing, I could go in and change the visibility to published, and perhaps change the access to a walled garden, generate an access code, so that I'll copy that access code and share it with my students, so that the next time that they came in, they would be able to find this space and go into it and modify it, or sorry, not modify it, but create threads in that space. So that's a quick overview of Axiom. Thank you so much for your time.